Welcome back to the Junius Maltby channel for another look at today's news and headlines. Thanks for joining us today. Well, there you have it. All of you called it. We called it here on the channel. I think we all got it right. Fed holding rates, warning the economy has slowed. That was obvious. Both of those were obvious. I think the markets already knew that was going to happen and the Fed was not going to raise rates. They're kind of stuck in a rock and a hard place, as we've talked about. You know, today we're not going to read through all these headlines verbatim. We're going to kind of do it a little bit different today because the news is kind of slow today. There's not a whole lot of really, nice meat to chew into and talk about. Just some vague, benign articles that are pretty obvious. It's like going outside on a sunny day and saying, hey, it's sunny out today. Yeah, the news today is really obvious. Anything you read today, you're going to say, hey, I kind of knew that. I figured that as much. Oil prices are down, affecting oil companies. We saw Exxon get downgraded, got their credit rating downgraded. I expect metals to keep performing very well. Gold and silver up again. Silver doing amazing. You'll see a lot of headlines here as we scroll through showing you that silver is basically outperforming gold. It's up like 26% this year. Silver's doing amazing. And we'll get to that towards the end as we scroll through these and just kind of give you an overview. Economic activity being slowed. We saw some headlines come out yesterday. There were some big companies on the stock exchange that took some hits. Stocks are down a little bit for those companies, and you'll see them mentioned here. You've got companies like Twitter, Apple, Buffalo Wild Wings, all dropping more than expected, not performing as well, not meeting expectations. And Twitter, what do they actually do? Other than provide some stupid service where people can speak in 140 characters and tell people, when their last bowel movement was, or when they plan on having a drink of water, or how many miles they jogged, or what restaurant they're going to eat at next. It's information nobody really needs, and it just seems to get famous people in trouble, or cause controversy, or cause people to lose their jobs because, they thought out loud and then the entire world heard it. So, get rid of Twitter. No one needs it. Boom. I said it, being honest. Buffalo Wild Wings, gross food, fast food, casual chain, dining, whatever you want to call it, sports-themed restaurant, useless. Get rid of it. Don't need it. Just makes society unhealthy. All right, there's my opinion on that. Stock should be worth zero. Apple, people holding onto their cell phones longer, not trading them in and getting the latest and the greatest and the newest. That's good. I think people are being a little bit more conservative with their dollars and realizing, hey, I don't need the new best phone. So they're not selling as many, and their shares are down a little bit. That's what I got out of reading some of the articles regarding Apple. Chipotle Mexican Grill, never ate at one, I don't think, and they're down, 3%. Big deal. Again, don't really care about any of those. China buying more gold. Okay, that's obvious. That's an obvious headline. We see that all the time, every day. That could be, you could put that headline, China gold imports jump, China gold imports jump. It could be on a repetitive timer and just pop up every couple of weeks. Because I don't think that's ever going to change. I think the appetite for gold in China is only going to grow. Now you've got gold prices going up because of not only that, but what we saw earlier in the week, I think with the Shanghai Gold Exchange, but also weakening of the dollar. You see the weak dollar happening now. If whether or not that's going to trend off into the future and be a thing that we see for the rest of the year, I don't know. But I think over time, over the long term, let's just say from this point in time to the end of my life, I think the dollar will have a downturn, a trend downward. It's always going to somewhat go down. There might be times where it goes up a little bit, but overall, downward chart. And that just makes sense if you look at the dollar charts going back 20, 30 years. It's an ever weakening thing. 100 years. The dollar's down, 96% and 97% in the last 90 years. That's all it does is go down. Now, we're seeing gold again and metal tick up, but the big thing here is silver. We got to talk about silver more. I know this is a very gold-themed channel. A lot of you guys come here for the gold talk. I myself am a gold guy, but I like talking about silver too. I like the white metal. I like silver. It's good stuff. Now, you see a lot of calls here, a lot of headlines talking about how well silver's doing, how it's outperforming gold. We're seeing calls where it could hit $20 an ounce. We're seeing calls where they're saying it could hit $75 an ounce. That's outlandish, right? I mean, you'd think that was crazy talk, but it's possible. It is. I mean, it hit 48 once. Why couldn't it hit 75? We're seeing statements like $3,000 gold, silver price jumping. Where is it going to end up? I don't know. I can't answer that question. If you're here to get the answer to that, you're at the wrong place. I can't tell you where silver is going to end this year or next year or the year after that. All I can say is that I firmly believe both metals are going to most likely finish higher than they started the year with. That's it. I mean, it's a pretty simple outlook on it. I mean, I don't know if they're going to end up, I can't even give you a percentage. 20% higher, 30% higher. Is this as high as we're going to see? Are we going to flatline the rest of the year? I don't know. But I can tell you that there are safe places to be. When you look at the overall health of the world economy and what's going on around us, I got to say, metals are it. They are the safest place at this point in time. It's a place to park your wealth, a place to preserve it. And when you look at, the uncertainty coming from the Fed, I mean, look at them. They're the experts, the financial experts, the architects of the entire global economy. These are the people that are supposed to have it, right? They're supposed to know what's going on. And they don't. It's obvious. Every time they speak, it's like they just woke up that morning and took a look at the news like you and I did and came up with some kind of an assumption or statements based on their gut feeling. Nobody really knows. It's all theoretical. And when you have a bunch of these college graduates and these people that are professional economists that don't really have, I believe, a firm practical grasp on what's going on in the world and the tie between global security, the global politics and the shifts of different cultures and movements and relationships between nation states like Russia and China and India and the United States and the EU, the Eurozone, and the movements of people out of Syria, the refugee crisis, the instability in the Middle East. There's no way a person like Janet Yellen can tie all that together to know how the world economy and the economy of the United States, based on that, is going to perform. I don't see it. I don't think anybody has the answers that you or I or anyone would expect to hear. Nobody has them. It's your guess right there. You, the viewer, the subscriber here of the Genius Maltby channel, you are just, in my opinion, you're just as much a professional. Your opinion is just as much weighted, if not more. Actually, if you're part of this channel, I put more weight on what you guys think when I read your comments, your personal viewpoint, your outlook, what you think, where the world is going to go, what direction things are moving in, than I would ever put on, like, let's say, Janet Yellen or Bernanke or Henry Paulson, going back to the crisis times. You look at their statements. Just prior to the crisis, Bernanke was telling us there wasn't a problem. Housing was contained. That's the expert opinion. These people are always wrong. Repeatedly, you can see it over and over and over again. They're wrong all the time. And then the people that are typically right, when they say what they say, they were considered wrong. So I don't put a lot of weight on their opinions. And again, just to go back to what I said about you guys, the viewers, I think we could form a think tank. I think we got something going on here. I think we're onto something. I think the viewers of this channel, the comment section of the Junius Maltby channel, is becoming its own think tank. If you know what those are. If you don't, look it up, read about what a think tank is. But I think when I read through your guys' comments, I feel like I really get the pulse of what's happening around the world. Because look at where you guys all come from, and myself here. We're spread out. We're not in one place. We're not listening to a group of, yes men that always agree with us. We're coming at you and each other from every corner of the globe. I can go into the analytics and see, I can't see your computer obviously, but I can see where people view our channel from. And it's everywhere. Singapore, Malaysia, Japan, China, Russia, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, South America, all over different parts of Africa. I'm not even kidding you. I got to give a shout out to this viewer there are people that view this channel from Greenland. So hello to you if you're in Greenland. That's pretty cool. And Antarctica. I don't know if you're at some like research station, some laboratory, or what. But think of how global and how far-reaching just the comment section is here on the Junius Maltby channel. We're spread out around the globe, from pole to pole, from Greenland, from the North Pole, all the way down to Antarctica, and around the world on the equator. There are people that come here, view these videos, and talk about them. And I think that's pretty awesome, and that's what I think kind of gives me a better idea of what the world thinks and the direction it's going, and all of us together. I think we all here, because we come together and we watch these videos and we all comment and discuss these things, it gives us a pretty good grasp. And I think a lot of the people that you see talking are somewhat disconnected from what's actually happening. You know, I just have a hard time seeing Janet Yellen having a discussion the way we tend to, and having a firmer grasp on reality. I don't think she knows what's going on. I think she's lost, and you can see it in her statements, you can see it in her eyes, you can see it in her body language, and just in the last 6 months, they don't know what's happening. And I think you guys do. I think you got a pretty firm grasp. So just keep doing what you're doing. Thanks for being part of the Junius Maltby channel. Thanks for helping this think tank grow. Maybe one day, a millennium from now, we look back upon as some kind of a little resource, if they're able to even preserve this type of data. Maybe we'll all exist together in some little terabyte file somewhere. All right. Thanks for being part of the Junius Maltby channel. Hope you heard the pin drop. Take care.